writing our magical object narrative, and we're going to pause on writing it. I've been reading everything you wrote, and you have been doing, eyes up here, you've been doing an excellent job writing similes. You've also been doing a pretty good job with writing personification. However, some of us are missing personification, or we're not using very descriptive words to really explain what that object is doing, what human quality is given to that object. So we're going to look at some examples and go through and figure out how can we revise these little short narrative paragraphs to write more interesting personifications that really make our senses come to life and can explain whatever experience or event that is going on in your narrative. So I'm going to project up the first example. While I read this to you, I want you to ask yourself, is there a personification or simile in this narrative scene? After school that day, Emma and I were on our way to the enchanted forest. As we walked through the forest, something dangled from the tree, a crystal necklace. I felt a strange energy. The crystal necklace pulled me towards it until I grabbed it. I sneakily put it in my pocket. Then Emma hollered my name. Turn and talk with your partner. Do you see personification? Do you see simile? Do you see? What do you see? Tell David what you see this thing. So, raise your hand if you found a simile. A simile using like or as?
Yeah. As we walk through. That's not a simile.
Okay, let's look at that. As we walk through, is there any two things being compared when I say as we walk through?
No.
So even though I use the word as, it's not actually a simile. Did anybody see personification?
Yeah.
Ooh, let's see, Roman, what did you find?
The crystal necklace pulled me towards it until I grabbed it.
The crystal necklace pulled me towards it. What's the object that's not human? You can shout it out. What human quality is given to that necklace? Pulling. A human can pull things. A necklace actually can't. What experience does this explain? If I'm saying the crystal necklace pulled me towards it, what experience does that explain? Turn and talk to your partner. What experience does that help make clear in your mind? What do you think, Emiliano? If a necklace is pulling you towards it, what is that explaining? Ooh, so it looks inviting, that it makes you curious and want to grab it. All right, let's see. Oh, we're going to have some to work on, for sure. Ooh, Natalie. It's not here. That was funny. I got excited to pull her name. I pulled Riley. She's not here, too. Mason. If a necklace is pulling you towards it, what is that it's trying to explain?
Like your instincts are telling you to get it.
Ooh, so it's making you curious and something inside your body is saying, ooh, I want to go and touch that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Excellent. Or it might be beautiful. Good point, David. So this is an example where there is personification that really explains the experience. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, let's look at another example. Oh my goodness, I forgot. I have have to freeze. I forgot to unhighlight these. Oh, good. You can't see it. I don't want to give away the answers.
Might want to keep it like that.
I got it. Thanks, David. Of course I can't find it. So we're just going to go with it. We're going to go with it. Life happens and we got to go with it. Here we go. I gave you some clues this time through some highlights, but we're going to look at these highlights. So I'm going to read it first, and you can tell me whether these highlights are personification or similes. When I tried to walk away, I heard talking. It came from the wand. It was saying, "Come closer, you need me." I thought I was going crazy. Brianna saw the worried look on my face. She asked, "Are you okay?" I just nodded, but she knew I wasn't telling the truth. When we got to the cave, we only went far back enough in the cave to not get wet. That's when she heard the wand talking. Then I grabbed it like I had no control over myself anymore. That is when I turned to Brianna, my eyes glowed white, with no control over myself or the magic powers. Simile or personification?
Personification.
What's the non-human object?
The wand.
Up on this green highlight, what human quality are we giving the wand?
Talking. Speech.
If I just say that this wand is saying something, is that very descriptive?
No.
Look at this specialty word list on your writing primer, the said word list. Take a minute for yourself just to glance over this list, read some of the words. All of these words, right here, Javier. Look over these words. All of these words are words we could use instead of said. Turn and talk with your partner and think of what word would you want to put into this narrative to make it more descriptive? Talk with your partner about that. Oh, you can talk with Javier right now. What do you think, Maggie and Darren? What word would you want to use instead of said?
So instead of said, I'll say moan. He moans.
Moan with okay. I like that. What about you, Marilyn? You don't have an idea?
I mean,
Kind of like his name.
Groan something.
maybe he groans.
Or it. Howl.
Maybe he
Is that more interesting than David, come on back up to your seat. David, come on back up to your seat. All right, let's see. I'm going to pick a name here. And we're going to find a more descriptive word that helps explain this experience of the wand saying something. Emily, are you really wanting to share? Of course, you can use the bathroom, no problem. Anthony, I pulled your name.
I'm scared.
Which word would you want to use from the specialty word list? For this, instead of the one saying something, what are you gonna use instead of saying that's more descriptive? I called Anthony, hands down. Moaned. Moaned. Let's hear some more ideas. I like that, moaned. Annie, what were you thinking? Hiss. Jackie, what were you thinking? No problem. Let's give her time. She's looking on the list. Muttered. Natalie. Maggie. Whispered. Okay, let's try one of those out. Let's try a couple of those out. It came from the wand. It whispered, "Come closer. You need me." Or it came from the wand. It hissed, "Come closer. You need me." Does that explain the experience more?
Yeah.
enhancing what?
Hearing.
The hearing and the sound of the talking. What experience would that be if a wand is hissing at you? Not the sound. What experience does that provide this character if the wand hisses at you, Annie? Ooh, it might be evil. Would it maybe be a little frightening? All right. Down here it says that's when she heard the wand talking. So it is cool to have a wand talking. If we said that the wand hissed, what could I use here instead of talking? Look at that list.
Crying.
Crying. Okay, so then she heard the wand crying. What are some other ideas? Mason.
Insisted.
Insisted. So there's an urgency to it. Jose. Yelled. Do you see how that makes the experience, hands down, we have more slides. Do you see how that makes the experience more clear?
Yeah.
It explains the experience more vividly so you can imagine what this wand actually sounds like. Yay? Thumbs up, thumbs down, kind of in the middle. Awesome. Let's see another example. You tell me, is there any personification in this narrative scene? I started walking to the river with the map in my right hand. David, our eyes are up here. I started walking to the river with the map in my right hand to try to find out how I got teleported. The closer I got, the colder it became. I shivered and hoped it wasn't too late for my mom to worry. I suppose the unicorn had something to do with it. What's the magical object that this person had in their hand? The map. Is there, oh, I forgot to ask. Sorry, I went ahead of myself. Is there personification in this narrative scene?
No.
But we decided the map is this non-human object. Do you agree that the map is non-human?
Yes.
We're going to give the map a human quality. While I'm explaining that the map is in my right hand, we're going to give that map a human quality. So I want you in your writing primer to turn to the touch verbs. Page 4. The touch verbs. And I want you to decide which touch verb do you want to give the map. Look over those words. I'm going to give you a chance to look over it by yourself. And then you're going to turn and talk with your partner about any ideas. Once you find an idea, turn and tell your partner, what's your idea? Is that, which human quality are you going to give the map to describe that the map was in his hand? David, what do you think? Ooh, so the map wrestled his hand? Nice example. Annie, what are you thinking? Ooh, clenched his hand. I'm hearing a lot of ideas. I'm gonna pull a name and see some ideas. Closing my eyes. Riley's not here. Marilyn, do you have an idea? How can you describe this map in their hand? Which touch verb do you think will help describe how this map is in the hand of this boy? You're not sure? No problem. Let's see. Jose! You showed me one. What did you see? The map hugged his hand. If the map is hugging his hand, what type of experience is that?
Touch.
It is touch. That's the sense. What's the experience like? If it's hugging your hand. Are you scared when someone hugs you? So let's think about that. Let's think about that. If the map is hugging the hand, how is that explaining the experience of that map in the hand? Mason?
Gentle.
Oh, it's gentle. Annie?
Maybe the wind is blowing into the
So the map is really engulfed in the hand. Like when I hug somebody, I'm wrapped all the way around it. So that wind made the map really go all over its hand.
Yeah.
Maggie?
Maybe fragile.
Oh, it might be a fragile. If I hug somebody, I want to be gentle, not to hurt them. Does that explain, Rui, does that help explain this experience of the map being in somebody's hand?
Yes.
To say it hugged the hand. Does it help explain it more?
Yeah.
Because it told us that it was a gentle experience. It was a fragile experience. What if I said the map squeezed his hand? How is that different? If the map squeezed its hand, how is that a different experience? Turn and talk with your partner. How is that a different experience than hugging if I'm squeezing its hand? The map squeezed its hand.
It probably was harder to squeeze, so it probably like flies.
Ooh, so a tighter grip. Then hugging it was a nice gentle touch, but squeezing it, maybe he doesn't want to let go of that map. Awesome. David, are you willing to explain that to the class? No problem, David. David, come on back to your desk. All right, let's see. Who's willing to explain that different experience? Anybody willing to explain? Yeah, David. Oh, I'm so glad you got the courage. Let's hear it, David. David, turn and tell the class.
Hug is probably gentle, and if you were to squeeze it, it'd probably be more like a bear hug. Anybody have uncles that just like squeeze them so hard?
No.
Okay, so David, and if I was squeezing that, would I want it to let go? Would I want that map to drop out of my hand? No, I'm squeezing it. It's precious. I don't want it to go anywhere. Mason.
Hug could be like gentle or calm, and what was the other word?
Hug would be gentle and calm versus squeeze.
Yeah, squeeze would be like aggressive.
More aggressive. I want you guys to go into when I say, you're going to open up your Chromebooks and you're going to go into your narrative magical object story. We're not going to be adding any more events. I want you to go back into your writing, find your personification, and see if you can use more descriptive language to help explain that experience that's going on with your magical object. Annie?
It looks like there's one more.
There is, but we're not going to go over it because you guys are getting it.
Alright.
Emily?
Can I put my Chromebook in the cart?
You can. From the cart. Yes, you can. So what are you going to do when you open up your Chromebooks? Okay, you're going to go to your magical object narrative. I need a hand to tell me what are you going to do with your narrative. Roman.
Try to find like the personification.
Once you find the personification, what are you going to do with that personification? Diana, nice and loud.
Make it more descriptive.
Make it more descriptive. And you're going to use your specialty word lists to help make that personification more descriptive so it explains that experience. Thumbs up if you understand. Good question, Naya. If you don't